Hi guys, so this is probably one of the most asked questions I get as a special needs parent. Sasha, who you guys all know, is 9 and has special needs, and I have an older son who's almost 8 years older than her, and he does not have special needs. So from the beginning of the time that we found out that Sasha had the diagnosis in the NICU, because she spent the first 6 months of her life in 2 different hospitals before she finally got to come home. And even till nowadays, the number one question I get is, how do your kids get along? Does your son really, bond with your daughter? And, I think siblings in general are kind of funny on how they all get along. I grew up as the middle child, and I had an older sister who was pretty bad to me. She chased me. She gave me black eyes. She told me I was adopted every single day. She told me nobody liked me. She was downright rotten to me. I mean, we did not get along at all when we were kids. And we're all 3 years apart, and I had a younger sister, and we look so much alike that people thought we were twins. My mom used to dress us the same, and we got along really good until we started having kids and, differences and all that. So I know growing up how it was with my siblings. And, then when I had a special needs child, it was like, how's this all going to work out? Is my son going to be totally bonded? Is he going to help her out? Is he going to be, a great other half to his relationship? Because siblings are such a truly amazing bond to watch. I mean, some kids get along great and some kids really don't. And I will say that 95% of the time, my son gets along so good with my daughter. I think he would stand out in the middle of the road and, get his leg run over before her. He's the first one to get her to help out the door. He's the first one to say, do you need help? He's the first one to say, can I tuck you in at night? And yes, I'm a single parent, so he does help out quite a bit. But he is truly, absolutely amazing to watch with her. She can be having the worst day in the world, and he'll just come up and give her a hug, and it totally brightens her day. They get along so truly well. And everybody thought between the age gap and the special needs that they would never have that strong sibling bond. I could honestly say that a lot of the time my household, I even know that I have 2 kids. They get along just so extremely well. I can't thank whoever, knock on wood, made that happen. But I was truly worried as a parent because, having a sibling younger like that is enough, but then when you throw in special needs in a small town such as this, how are people going to perceive? Is he going to ignore her? Are they going to be close? Is he going to pretend not to know her? Because, a lot of people, especially, when they get older, what's wrong with their sister? And Josh knows, my son, that we're very open and honest. We talk about Sasha and all of her needs, and we're very open conversation about giving knowledge to people and never afraid to answer a question as long as it's not a negative one. So they get along so well. My son actually, I'll tell you about it before I throw in my clip of the sibling love between them. My son was actually in 8th grade, and he had this child that came in at 7th grade who was a problematic child, to say nicely, and had given my son many hard times, minus the fact that he was about half the size of my son. So my son wasn't afraid of him or anything. But as soon as he found out that Josh, my son, had a special needs sibling, he made it a very big point in his life to make sure that he was going to call Sasha retarded, bring her down in front of Josh. Never said in front of Sasha, but definitely let Josh know. So one day, this child, they're all waiting outside a classroom for a teacher to get back, and they knew they weren't allowed in there. So this child went up to my son and said, hey, where's your retarded sister today? Josh ignored him because Josh knows, let the authority, let the teacher deal with it. Don't get involved in it. this child more than once. First he came up to my son and stabbed him so hard with a pencil. My son had lead embedded in his skin. We had to go get it surgically removed at the hospital. Then he came back and my son put his backpack down and stabbed my son a second time. All to the fact that my son was defending my daughter, who he absolutely loves, and this child had a problem with it. He's a problematic child. He doesn't have a good bond with his parents, and he doesn't have a good, and he's a divorced child, and he's very shifted around all the time. And I really felt sad for this child. And he actually wrote Josh an apology letter and came up to me and said he was sorry. But I said, I don't want you to be sorry. I just want you to know in the future to accept everybody. And what you did was 100% wrong, but I forgive you. And I don't know how some people parent and accept that that's an okay way to teach their child. But Josh is truly amazing towards his sister. I could never ask for two better kids.